from the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is Wish TV's Behind the Eight.
What's on the program for this fine day?
McKinzie Roth takes you behind the scenes at News 8.
Sounds like a great program.
It is amazing.
Now, here's Wish TV's entertainment insider, McKinzie Roth.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Eight. So happy you're here. What's going on? I'm McKinzie Roth, your entertainment insider here at Wish TV. We are here in the fabulous studios, the All Indiana Podcast Network, and I have a very, very special guest. Katiera Winfrey joins us. Katiera, how are you?
I am doing great.
Now, she is our multicultural reporter extraordinaire, and she has been busy, and just killing it. So let's start with your background, Katiera. So let's dive right in. So tell us kind of what led you up to working here at Wish TV.
Well, I've been working on air for the last 8 years, but this is a brand new role for me. As far as a multicultural reporter, I don't know if I've ever heard of anything like that.
And define that for our listeners who's like, ooh, that sounds very intriguing and interesting.
Well, essentially, I cover all kind of ethnic groups of people, religious groups of people, abilities, just a variety of people to kind of give a different voice or a different perspective that may not always be heard on your average news show. So going a little bit deeper and specifically targeting communities who may not see themselves on television often or may not see their issues broadcast as often as other people. And so it's just it sounds very specific, but it's still very broad because there's so many groups of people that you can kind of hone in on.
And what really drew you to this position when you were approached and, it was created for you, which is really cool. But what made you think, you know what, I'm going for this. This is it.
Well, I don't know if it was created for me. Maybe, there was some divine intervention in there.
Destiny.
But this was posted, and I actually used to work at Wish TV fresh out of college behind the scenes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, behind the scenes in 2010, I started on the web.
Okay.
And so I had already known a couple of people, and Indianapolis was one of the places I wanted to come back to because I have a lot of family here. I grew up between here and Houston my whole life. So I'm like, okay, I'm tired of moving every 2 years. I want to stick around somewhere.
Which is the life of many reporters if you're not in the industry. Yep.
Yeah, and I also wanted a break from general assignments because I felt like it was kind of getting monotonous a little bit.
Sure.
And I wanted to kind of, take a jump and do something different. And so when I saw this, it was right as my contract was ending. So I reached out to Al.
Yep,
I reached out
director.
to Dewan.
Our owner.
Everybody that I knew here already to be like, hey.
This has my name on it. Well, I'll tell you what, Katiera was one of the first smiling, beautiful faces when I joined Wish TV. And she has just been an absolute dream to work with, and she has just been shining and killing it. So let's talk about, today happens to be George Floyd's funeral. It's happening in Minneapolis. Actually, it's just starting right now. And you've been you really have covered all of the protests, some of the riots. So tell us about your experience when you really hit the streets, because you're so gripping and captivating to watch.
Well, thank you for that. I actually volunteered to come cover it. This wouldn't typically fall under my typical assignments when you think of it in a broader spectrum, but when you talk about Black Lives Matter, then that's how it kind of falls under some of what I do. But this is a general assignment story. This is an everybody story, but I felt it was a very important story to be a part of and give voice to and give perspective to. So when they put out the call, who can come help? It's like me, because I knew this was going to be a major moment in history.
Yes.
And I wanted to do my part to make sure that I did what I could to tell the story, the good, bad, the ugly, all of it, the best way that I could.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? A lot. Especially when it comes to protecting what matters. At Pacific Life, we've helped people and businesses confidently embrace the future with life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits. With strategies built on strength and trust, and a promise to be here for you today and tomorrow. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
take us through your experience. So you go on. What were you nervous? Did you have any nerves going just on the street? Because when you go out, anything really can happen because there obviously emotions are high. People are very passionate, and you just don't know what lies ahead of you in the night.
I think when I first decided to do it, there was a sense of being nervous because I didn't know what to expect, but I had already said, I'm doing this just because you never know how these things can shift. And so, but when the day started and I got out there, I didn't feel any tension during the daytime protest. When things took a turn at night, I was very aware, but I wasn't in fear. There were scary moments, but they passed. And I'm like, okay, now we're back. We have to regroup, and now we're on it. So there was never a time where I felt any type of debilitating fear. I think it was very much caution and aware of what was going on around me, but I don't have a sense of fear that just took over me at the moment.
Well, you were so cool, calm, and collected. And of course, obviously, Wish TV, our safety is first of all, of course, our staff. But when you're out there, so were people willing to speak with you? What did you gather?
I got all kinds of emotions. People who didn't want us there and people who wanted to talk to us to try to clarify why they were so angry or why they were so emotional or why they felt the need to be out there. So it was a wide range of feelings. Some people walking past, you guys be safe out here. You guys have a tough job to do. And, like I said before, other people are like, why are you here? What are you doing here? And so just like in everything, it's just a broad range of emotions and feelings.
Which is so always interesting to me because as media, we're trying to tell your story. Why are you here? We're trying to give you, shine a light on you. So when people are angry that we're there, we're trying to cover this historic event and all of these historic events that are happening. So I did notice one thing. There was lots of tear gas happening downtown. And so she would be live. And I mean, we couldn't take our eyes off you, but I know some of those moments when that hit you. So was this your first experience with something like that?
Yeah. It was the first time I had experienced it, and I heard, I read the warnings about how bad it can be and how it hits you, but a lot of times, the initial time I felt it, it had dispersed quite a bit. So I was walking into it thinking, oh, it looks like it's fanning out.
Right.
Oh, and it was almost like when I felt it, I said, oh, and then it just hit me.
And what is it, like hard to breathe, or do you feel
all of
your
the
eyes
above,
burn?
like it hits your throat, your eyes are, it's not as severe, I don't want to say knives, but like little needles just tap dancing on your eyes.
Oh, wow.
And not like really, it's not like a debilitating pain, but it's enough to where you're like, I can't stand here and breathe. I can't talk. And there were times where I was able to talk through it, but still getting choked up, and I'm like, okay.
And she kept pushing through. Katiera, you just kept pushing through. Does the milk, I noticed a lot of people had milk. Does that help alleviate, kind of soothe?
Well, I never actually tried the milk.
Okay.
I just kind of ran into a corner and just kept my eyes closed and let my tear ducts kind of take care of it and push out whatever it could. But like I said, as soon as I saw the smoke, I knew it was coming. So I tried to just bail.
Right.
But we saw so many people out there pouring milk on their eyes. Some people wearing swim goggles.
Right.
So I think some people came prepared knowing that that's what it was going to be.
Now, what was we saw a lot of destruction in a lot of cities. What was one moment that kind of sticks out in your mind of the destruction? Then we're going to get to some loving moments that really stick in your mind. But of a destruction standpoint, what was one thing that your mouth kind of dropped and you're like, I can't believe I'm witnessing this?
Well, I think the first thing, when I turned one of the corners in one of the first reports, maybe the third or fourth hit that I had, I just saw something burning in the middle of the street, and I saw the shadows of bodies, like from this, because when the light has hit you, it kind of puts a shadow on you. So you don't see the people, you just see the figures. And I'm like, what is burning? It ended up being trash cans in the middle of the street burning, so no cars or anything like that, but just bodies standing in the street, arms raised, yelling, and you see this fire dancing in the background, and you just see shadows of people.
What a
and
surreal moment.
Yeah, so that just really caught my eyes, and I was thinking, wow, what is happening now? Because I hit a corner, and boom, it was right there. Fire on one side of the street, the middle of the street, and something happening. So I just didn't know what was going on. And in the background, you could hear these bangs. I don't know if it was something in the trash cans going off. It was just really like, wow, what is happening here?
And I'm sure it's hard to tell. Is that a firework? Is that a shot? What's happening? Because you're just so engrossed in it.
And I'm not familiar with gunfire, because there was a hit where, I had heard something, and we heard 3 consecutive pops. And the photographer I was with, Alex Hadley, he's like, that sounds like shots fired. He grew up with a police officer dad, so he's been around guns and stuff. I didn't know. We took off. So it's hard to tell what's what if you're not familiar with those sounds.
And talk about family. Did you get calls from your family concerned, please wrap this up, Katiera, or, just checking on you?
I did. I sent them a video because I was dialed in so long. I just sent them a video. I'm fine, guys. I just want you to know I'm okay.
Yeah.
I did ask my parents or my family to pray for me ahead of time. And so afterwards, we talked about it the next day. They were like, so tell us what happened. How'd you feel?
Yeah.
And we had to go through the whole thing.
Oh, I love that. I always think of like the mamas and the dads and, just thinking of you out there. And what are some moments? I mean, we hope that good comes from this. We hope that there's this moment. Is there a moment that you just were like in awe and thought, okay, and you're seeing unity, you're seeing love?
Well, going back to those same trash bins. Initially, I was doing a report and I saw some man kind of just tinkering with them, and I was thinking to myself, what is he doing? Just what's going on? I couldn't tell. I saw him pouring something in between it, and at first I was like, oh, please don't let that be like lighter fluid. And I feel bad that my mind went there first. Come to find out, that was water. He was over there trying to stomp out the fire. He ultimately, along with some other people, went and moved the trash bins out of the road. So it went from this being the most dramatic part of my evening that I saw with my eyes to, wow, somebody is out there putting this fire out and moving this obstruction out of the street.
Katiera Winfrey, a total pro. And what's a message that you want to give our listeners and our viewers, like coming from your perspective, because you were engulfed in it, you were in the thick of it?
I think it's important to point out that this is passion, be it well placed, be you think it not necessary, if you think people need to calm down. This is an element of passion, and sometimes that's how it plays out. I think it's very clear that everyone out there weren't out there for the same reasons. I think some people were out there genuinely protesting, genuinely angry, and I think some people may have just wanted to let off some frustration. Oh, we're breaking stuff. Let's go break some stuff.
And wreak havoc, sure.
So it's kind of you kind of get all of it sometimes in one. The stuff, and so I think that's important to understand, that you can't control the entire situation, and you just kind of have to take what comes with all of that.
And as a journalist, what's your goal? Like what do you want to be, people to remember you for? And what are the next steps for Katiera Winfrey?
Well, I think I just made a point in my career to just be Katiera. I've been very clear about what you see is what you're going to get.
And that is 100%. She is genuine. She is authentic. And that's the light about you. I mean, that's what drew me to you initially, one of my first friends here at Wish TV.
Yeah, I think it's very important I remember when I was when I was in school, I thought I had to sound like a journalist. I thought I had to sound like my favorite TV anchor growing up. And I tried to paint this picture. And then one day I was like, this is exhausting. Right. So let me tell y'all what happened, y'all. So it's like, and I found that that's been the thing that's kind of, gotten people to trust me with stories, or gotten people to call me with stories. Is I'm like, listen, they're like, oh, you're famous. I'm like, listen, I'm just Katiera. I just happen to be on TV right now.
Right.
I came from humble beginnings, very humble. So I am not a celebrity. I'm just out here talking because I like to talk. Clearly, you can tell.
That's what we love about you. But I found that too, Katiera. It's just the more authentic you are, the more success you have, because people want to see you vulnerable and want to see the real you. And that's what really differentiates you from anybody else.
Yeah. So that's what I want people to know. Katiera, she's just Katiera.
Katiera, she's just Katiera. And Miss Katiera, where can everybody find you and follow you?
Yes, I am on Facebook and Twitter. For Facebook, it's at Katiera the Reporter. And on Twitter, it's just Katiera underscore.
Yeah.
Underscore.
You got it, girl.
Underscore Winfrey.
And she's off to a story right now. Can we ask you what you're going to cover now?
Well, there was something thrown through a church. Korean or Burmese church's window caused damage. So almost a little small fire.
This is kind of the life. It's so fast paced. She gets wind of this and go. Yeah. As in my entertainment world is a whole different thing. It's like
a little more flexibility.
Yes. Yeah. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us here on Behind the Eight. Again, I'm McKinzie Roth, your entertainment insider, with the beautiful, talented, amazing Katiera Winfrey. Thanks. Big shout out to the All Indiana Podcast Network. Until we meet again.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.